Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. I am going to kick off hopefully a series of get ready with me's, and the main focus of this series is just trying to touch all of my new eyeshadow palettes. Tom from Hope Miss Tom did something similar / is still doing something similar on their channel, and I just love their channel. I love to just like hang out, get ready while they get ready, and I have purchased so many new eyeshadow palettes that I haven't gotten around to testing. So in the next series of videos, each video will just kind of be focused on one eyeshadow palette, but we'll still be doing a full face of makeup. And I wanted to start out with something a little bit more fun, but I am going to see my mom and sister today, and so I didn't want to do something like super bold and super colorful. So I thought I would bust this out because this finally arrived to me in the mail. This is the Melt 12th Hour stack, and this took like over a month to get to me, but I haven't tried Melt eyeshadows in a really long time, and something about the split pan stacks just like had me sold. Plus I've been a lot more into something a little bit more like brown and not quite as colorful this year, so I thought maybe I could really love this and get a lot of use out of it. And so we are going to use this to create this eye look today. And then I'm like, we're not really playing around with a ton of other new things. The highlighter I have on is new. The blush I have on is like relatively new to my collection. I'm showing you my favorite lip combo, but we're just going to chill, hang out, and get ready together. So if that is something that you are interested in doing with me, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just hanging out and chit-chatting about makeup, that is what we do over in this channel, and I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. All right guys, we're gonna start with the eyes today. I typically start with my eyes, and I want to bust out my Melt 12th Hour stack. I am just gonna say this took forever and a day to get to me. I ordered this like maybe September 27th or 28th, and I just received this on like I think October 22nd or 23rd. I don't know if it got lost, I don't know what happened, but it took forever to get to me. I literally could not, I know that the packaging is super bulky on this, and I get it, and I knew that going into buying it. I just couldn't deny this. Okay, so it's these magnetic stack pans all stacked together, and obviously there's 12 shadows. Each little stacked thing is a split pan, and it has one matte and one metallic. I definitely want to reach into this one right here. There is really dark brown. There's also this, which I think is so fun. This looks like a duochrome shade to me. I haven't swatched this yet, but it looks like almost like that kind of like typical like ready pink to green sort of shift, but still really fun. Some really dark shades there. And then this one looks like a really fun blue brown, which I don't remember when I was like looking at everything. I don't remember like a blue brown shade, but that is really fun too. I'm like, do we think, let me look at these. I'm wondering if we can get away with these two, and then obviously maybe like something lighter on the very inner corner. I think I'm gonna try and do something with those three. I did already prime using my trusty Desi Ulta Matte Veil Longwear Primer. I'll zoom you guys in. And I'm sorry, I'm filming kind of before the sun is even up, so like I feel like my lighting is just not the best. So I feel like rare is the day that I actually set my eyeshadow primer anymore, but I am gonna use this shade right here, which I believe is the shade Veil. And this is considered, wait. Never mind, Curse, and Curse is a matte eyeshadow. I got confused because on the back, it lists the shades, but do you see like the matte has like a pink sticker? Wait, I wanna look at the rest. That's so weird, because then like the dark brown and the blue brown, there's like obviously a blue and a brown. This is not pink to me. Not pink to me. But anyway, I'm gonna go in with that shade, and I'm just going to set my lids lots of kick up with that. This is why I do my eyes first though. I don't personally care too much about a ton of kick up. I will say I do typically prefer like a thinner, more buildable matte formula, just because I am no eyeshadow wizard. I really struggle to get a good blend going, I feel. Okay, as you can see, that shade on me really is just kind of like a lid or a bone colored shade. Okay, technically this matte in this pan right here would technically be the next lightest shade. There is a warm tone option. This is obviously a little bit more cool. I just wanted to hold these two up next to one another though, because those are extremely similar. Like I feel like they're too similar. Oh, interesting. Okay. The shade names. I'm gonna go in with the matte shade right here, and this is sick. Like the number 6, the word sick, and then the number 6 again. There is not nearly as much kick up with this one as there was the last one. All right, and I'm just going to take that in my crease. By the way, I am currently washing clothes, so I apologize if you can hear my washer. We got a multitask around here to get things done though, you know what I mean? Not super pigmented right off the bat, I will say, which as I just mentioned, I'm okay with a more thin and buildable formula. That's typically just what works better for me, but everyone's preferences are different. I will say it's been a long time since I purchased or even worked with melt eyeshadows. I feel like melt used to be like the it girl, like the cool girl when it came to eyeshadows. And I do still feel like they have some really interesting color stories, theming, and concepts. But I didn't always have the best luck with their mattes. And so, and again, it's been a little bit since I've even used their mattes. I will say, I feel like that's blending, I was gonna say maybe slightly patchy, but it also just could be my eye, maybe not. I'm just gonna keep building a little bit more. Yeah, I just feel like right here, it could be my eyes. It could just be my eye, but I feel like that is looking a little patchy on the inner corner. Yeah, I don't personally love the way that this matte is blending out. But perhaps it's, again, I haven't like set my eyeshadow primer in a long time. Maybe this is just something that would be better left unset. With a clean brush, I'm gonna dip back into this matte shade, the shade Curse, and I'm gonna use that to just blend out the edge up here a little bit. I'm still gonna build a little bit more with that dark shade, I think. I really don't like how that's blending on the inner corner. I mean, I do have 34-year-old eyelids though, so that could be a part of it. But I do have plenty of matte shadows that don't give me the same issues. Obviously, this is my first time playing with this, so just first impression, I will continue to test. And it is almost year end, you guys, which seems crazy to think about, but year end palette ranking will be coming. Okay, I'm just gonna match the same thing on the other eye. I have this blended out. I will say I don't love, and sometimes this happens with other shadows, I don't love the way that it's blended into like the inner part of my lids, but the inner part of my lids is a little bit more creasy. And so I typically struggle a little bit with the blend there. I just feel like the eyeshadow formula is almost like a little bit, I'm just taking a little bit more of that bone colored shade. I feel like it's almost just a little bit dry. But anyway, we are going to move on, and I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And the matte brown here is called Nocturnal. And I'm just gonna take some on my Singe EO4. There is definitely a decent amount of kick up with that shade. And I'm really just using this brush to like tap and push that into the lids. And then I'll go in with a fluffier brush to blend out. I actually think I'm gonna take a little bit of this matte shade, which is almost the same as this one, but just a hint darker. This is in the shade Graves. And I'm gonna take that on the Singe EO2. Lots and lots of kick up with that one. I'm gonna use that to blend this out. I definitely feel like these mattes just look kind of dry. That's like the best word I have to describe. Maybe my eyelids are just dry, but these shadows are doing nothing to hide that, or they're accentuating the dryness, if you will. I don't really have another eyeshadow primer to try this with. I could try not setting the lids next time, which is actually how I typically have been doing my makeup, but I don't want to have to like be super fussy with my routine just to like make an eyeshadow work for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I really don't like how these are blending together. I feel like it's very patchy. I'm gonna go back in with this shade 666. And I'm gonna try and blend out the edge a little bit. I don't mind how like all the shadows blended together, but it just looks so dry, and I really don't like the inner corner. I'm then going in with that lightest matte, and again just trying to clean up the edge a little bit. I'm hoping that these shimmers come through, because otherwise I feel like this is going to be a huge waste of money. Shame on me for giving Melt another chance. Come on. I will say the last Melt palette that I bought was the Earth palette, and I actually really liked that one. Like, I thought the quality in that one was good. Yeah, I'm not at all impressed in the way that these mattes are blending together. I honestly, I know I just said that I don't mind the way that they are like all blending together, but then I'm like, okay, I don't feel like there's much of a gradient either. I can like feel myself getting mad and frustrated. Okay, we're just gonna try and add some shimmer and see if we can at least hide the disaster that I feel like is these mattes. But I am not at all impressed so far. I am taking my NYX glitter glue and I'm gonna run that all across my lid. Should I try and do? I feel like I should not try and do like a halo eye. I'm like, should I do a little bit of the blue on the end? Like, how intense do we think this blue is? Ooh, that is a pretty blue though. Okay, I'm not gonna try and do a halo eye because I always hate how those look, and I already hate how this look is coming together. I'm gonna take the shade Witching Hour, which is that blue-brown shade, and I'm gonna take this on the outer third and kind of bring that in as well. Okay, that is looking really pretty on the lids. Thank goodness, one shade. Thank goodness we like one shade. I do love a blue brown. And when you find a good blue brown, and what I like about this one is it's like a little bit darker. I feel like, oh my gosh, from the recently de-influenced palette from Bella Beauté Bar, oh, that like tealy shade that I love would look beautiful over this. I don't know if you can see all the fallout here, but there's a lot. Okay, that is a beautiful shade. Okay, then I'm like, is this gonna look good? Oh, that is a really beautiful kind of like rose gold shade. It's a little bit darker than I thought. I'm layering those two together to see. Okay, that could be really pretty actually. I think I actually may bring the blue brown in just a little bit over like the center of my lid, because I want to layer those two shades a little bit. The blue brown is going on really nicely with the brush too, I will say. I'm definitely more of like, I use my fingers with my shimmers. The blue brown I'm happy with. I am really happy with. I think the shade was called Witching Hour. Okay, taking the other side of the same brush and going in with the shade 12 Candles. And 12 Candles, I'm gonna start basically all the way in. I'm leaving just a little bit of space because I am going to do one of the like a light shimmer too. Okay, 12 Candles has a really pretty pink reflect to it. Okay, I am really liking the shimmer metallics from this. All right, and then I'm gonna bring 12 Candles in a little bit past the center there. Those layer nicely on one another, but they layer fine on one another. I don't know that it's my absolute favorite. But then I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade right here, which is the shade Veil. I'm gonna take that just on my pinky, and I'm gonna tap that onto the very center. Oh, I got a little bit much. And then I'm also gonna tap that into the center here. Ooh. Okay, not loving what we just did. I'm going back over top with 12 candles. At least to try and blend that in a little bit. I'm just gonna copy what I just did so at least we have the same situation on both eyes. A little annoyed this is not going great because I do plan to still film at least one video after this. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more of Witching Hour. And just go over through the center again just to add a little bit more of that blue coloring. We're gonna make this work. It's all gonna come together in the end. I'm gonna take a black liquid liner and add that to the upper lash line. I feel like that might help a little bit. I just feel like everything looks a little bit dry. I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face and we're gonna see if adding some like makeup is gonna help this. The sad thing is like I do really like the shimmers. I don't know how I like that they layered together. The mattes, I just don't know. We're just gonna see how it all comes together. For my primer today, I am not doing anything new. I'm trying to finish up my Milk Hydro Grip primer. And we are so close to this being an empty. This absolutely will be an empty by the next time I update my Deca Panning Project pan. And I feel like this is like one of the only products that I've bought and will have finished in the same year. Last year I feel like I had not like a decent amount, but like for someone who has a larger makeup collection, like a decent amount. This I like, but I'm not gonna repurchase it. There's other gripping primers that I like better. The way that the like gold in this, like, oh my gosh. The way that the gold blends out in some areas, like it just, I don't know if you can tell, like it's just extra gold, or maybe you can't because it's just really hard to film when the sun's coming up. It just looks a little off. Okay, because my under eyes look kind of scary this morning, especially like super irritated out here, I am gonna go in with a color corrector. And this is my Bobbi Brown skin corrector stick in light medium bisque. Actually, this is probably, I was gonna say probably too dark for me right now, but I don't know where my NYX one is at the moment. Whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. It'll work out. Okay, I do actually have plans today, so I want my foundation to last like all day. My daughter and I are going to visit my mom and sister, and my mom, sister, and daughter are all getting piercings. My daughter's gonna get her third piercings. I'm like, girl, I kind of want to get my thirds, but I'm not gonna be getting any piercings today. I think my sister's gonna re-pierce her, I think her seconds, and then my mom's gonna get her seconds, which I'm like, Mama Ruth, I'm so proud of you for getting a piercing. Anyway, I want my makeup to last all day. I just recently pulled this back out. I kind of forgot about this, but I'm trying to like re-familiarize myself with everything that I've bought this year because, as I mentioned, year end is coming, and that means so many reflections videos, like ranking, reviewing all the things that I tried this year. So this is the Dior Forever Hydra Nude Foundation, and I know that Hydra's in the name, but I'm also going to add just a little bit of my Glossier Future Dew, just because I like, the older I get, the glowier I want to be, because I feel like I look like a crusty, dusty desert. So I have been doing like one full pump of the Glossier Future Dew, and then I usually do 2.5 pumps of the Dior, which is probably honestly a little bit too much, but then I just mix it up on the back of my hand. I hate to be like halfway through and then feel like I don't have enough and then I'm trying to like mix again, rather than like, well, I don't really want to be wasteful with my Dior foundations. I'm also gonna have to definitely bring this down my neck. I'm thinking about possibly self-tanning tomorrow. It's been months and I feel like every weekend I'm like, I'm gonna self-tan this weekend, and then I just don't. But I think I have, am I down to my last self-tanner? I thought maybe I had like 2 containers of self-tanner left, and I would like to get down to just 1. Oh my gosh, I do just love the way this foundation looks. Dior foundations are so good. It is not the Sephora VIB, so yeah, by the time this video goes up, it might be like during VIB time, but part of me like really wants to get the Dior foundation stick. because I'm just so curious. But then I've also just never really been a stick foundation girly. But Dior foundations are so good. Maybe I would be a stick foundation girl if I had a really good one. And they're so easy for on the go, which I feel like I have been very much and will continue to be very much on the go for quite some time now. Okay, so I always start by putting my foundation on with a brush, and then I go over top with a beauty sponge, because even if my brush is like fresh out of cleaning, I always get brush strokes, probably because I'm just like not patient enough. If you guys have tried the Dior stick foundation, let me know, because I feel like that one was like getting a really, really good buzz too. So let me know if you really like that one and if you think it's worth checking out. I feel like I bought, not lately, but bought so many new foundations this year, and I do plan to pick up the new one for Makeup by Mario. So I'm like, do I really need like another new foundation? Probably not, but I do love to test and try foundation. Okay, I'm trying to finish my NYX Bear With Me concealer, but I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury today because it's a little bit lighter, and that's, I think, what I want today. I also like feel like I might be like farther through my Charlotte Tilbury concealer than I actually think. I feel like my daughter sometimes uses this and doesn't tell me. I feel like maybe this is more light than I wanted to go today, but that's okay. Right now I'm using, this is my favorite concealer brush of all time. I really need to clean mine. It's the Alter Ego 101, which is a dupe for the BK Beauty one, and it's making me think that, or it's making me think of how I want to purchase some brushes during Black Friday from BK Beauty. I also possibly will purchase another one of these Alter Ego brushes from Alter Ego because I do really like this. But what do you guys have your eyes on for Black Friday? I feel like the last couple of days I've been like, ooh, I want to get, like the other day I put on an old Gymshark like crew neck or sweater, and I was like, ooh, Black Friday I might have to pick up a couple more like Gymshark things, which the last time I purchased something from Gymshark was, I believe, last Black Friday. And then I was thinking about the BK Beauty brushes, but I also need to be saving money. So I don't want to like, I don't know. I honestly like don't know if I'm going to end up getting much of anything during Black Friday, but I would love to know what, even if you don't have like specific items on your list, are there like specific stores you always shop from on Black Friday, or are you skipping Black Friday? What's everyone's thoughts this holiday? Okay, will say since the eyeshadow's been on for a couple minutes, sometimes do you feel like your eyeshadow just needs like a minute to settle? I feel like the shimmers are looking a lot better. I'm still really annoyed at the mattes. It's like this outer corner sometimes I feel like I just don't get quite right. I don't know. This is definitely something I'm gonna have to keep trying this stack like multiple times over and over. All right, to powder underneath my eyes today, I'm gonna go in with my Givenchy. Speaking of Sephora VIB, I need to pick up a new Kosas pressed powder. I don't have like my perfect pressed powder right now, and I purchased this a month or two ago at this point in time, and I like want to love that one so bad. When I swatched it in store, I was like, oh, that has such a pretty like kind of like glowy finish to it, and so I thought I was gonna love it, but I just have not been loving it as I've been using it to like set all over my face. And I recently saw Kelly Gooch, I don't know if it was a YouTube video or just like a short, but she was talking about how she really did not like the Stay powder when she started using it, but then she like transitioned into using it as a finishing powder, which I don't know if that's what it's intended to be, or if that's what she was, I can't remember. Anyway, okay, wait, why am I like going overboard with the under eye powder right now? Especially because I feel like this one can look a little bit heavy underneath the eyes too. Definitely don't love this one as much as I used to love the Givenchy loose powder, which everyone says this is really close to. It like does a nice job of blurring underneath the eyes, but it's just not my favorite. Anyway, I want to try using the Say powder more as a finishing powder, because I do not like this to set all over my face. But what am I going to use to set all over my face today? I don't know. And I feel like I should, because I do want my makeup to kind of last all day. Really, my only other two options would be either the Wind Dancer by First Aid Beauty, or I thought I had a, nope, I grabbed medium, not light, hold on. Or I have the Bare Minerals like 16-hour powder foundation, but I don't want to go in with the powder foundation. So I'm gonna go in with the What's Up Beauty. This is, I have not filmed, I've started to film some of my declutters. And actually this weekend I will probably film the rest of my like complexion, which is going to include obviously my powders. I may end up decluttering this one just because I would much rather I love the Kosas Cloud Set for setting all over my face. It's just what works best for me. And I feel like I don't mind this one. It's just like, I feel like I would much rather, actually that does look really good. I feel like I'd much rather reach for my Kosas. So I don't know if this one's gonna make the cut, but I suppose maybe this is a good chopping block day. Actually, that does look so pretty on the skin. Anyway, I also have so many of the Bare Minerals like 16-hour foundations. I've got to get rid of some of those. I am gonna go in with Matte Fix Plus just to, honestly, just to mist my face, because I love to mist my face, but to kind of set everything down. I do feel like even with that powder on, I still feel like my skin looks like it has a bit of a healthy glow to it, which I really appreciate. Like, is it sitting? I'm like, is the powder sitting weird here? Is that one of those spots that like, there was more of the golden glow from the primer? So I feel like right here looks a little interesting. Okay, and I'm annoyed because I totally forgot I wanted to try the What's Up Beauty Rose Hippity Matte Liquid Blush, because I haven't used these yet. Dang it. Do we think it's gonna look, do we think it's not gonna sit well on top of powder? Okay, I'm gonna try and squeeze some out and just see. I'm annoyed. I hate when I do this, when I want to test out or use a cream and liquid product and I forget. Ooh, that's not necessarily the color I thought it was gonna be. Ooh, that's very thin in texture. That is much thinner in texture than oh my gosh, like the Charlotte Tilbury. And it has kind of like a dewy glow. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna try to go over top with the powder. I don't necessarily know that's gonna work well. That does have a nice, like, it sits down, but that's very sheer. I'm just curious about the shade of the other one that I ended up keeping. There was 3 and one of them I set aside. So I didn't feel like I needed all 3. But I feel like this one looked even lighter than the other one, and the other one really sheared out. Okay, that's like a very bright peachy shade. But those two next to one another look pretty similar. It does say matte liquid blush, which I guess it does kind of dry down to a matte. That's very sheer though. Interesting. I don't know that I'm gonna love that, but we're gonna try that a different day. I don't think it's gonna work on top of, I just don't wanna risk it on top of the powder today, especially because I don't really have time to take my makeup off and do it again. Because I haven't been self-tanning, I've been alternating through my What's Up Beauty lightest bronzer, my Gucci bronzer, which I'm gonna reach for today in the shade 1, and then also my Fenty Beauty bronzer, which I do feel like my Fenty bronzer, like I feel like this pan is finally expanding some. Maybe I should reach for this today. Maybe I should, just because I'd like to expand this pan even more before I do my year-end, like all the pans in my collection. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty bronzer today. I feel like I haven't been loving this quite as much, but I think it's because it's the oldest bronzer in my collection, I'm pretty sure. And I think the formula is just like, it's past its prime for sure. And I've noticed, like I noticed with my, oh my gosh, NARS Laguna Sun Wash earlier this year, like it just didn't blend out like it once did. And it's, the Fenty one right now is like not bad by any means. It also could just be that I need to like clean my face brushes. I feel like I'm so good at cleaning my eye brushes, but my face brushes, meh. Anyway, I just feel like I haven't loved this as much as I used to, but I've committed so much, and it's not like I don't like it, but I've committed so much, so many years to this bronzer. This is literally like the never-ending bronzer. I can't declutter this. Like, this is one that we are going to pan to completion. So you can expect to see this in a project next year. I guess it's good that I haven't been self-tanning because it allows me to get more use out of this one. Whereas in the past, I really haven't, because I like would self-tan all year round and it just would be way too light for me then. Yeah, it also could be the way that I like blend my bronzer. Don't judge me, okay? I've never been a makeup artist. I just like to sit down and play with makeup for fun. Don't judge me. But I feel like it just doesn't always look the best. But that's okay. You know what? It's good enough. It's good enough. I feel like finally, so the way that I hit pan on this is I was also using this as an eyeshadow at some point, and I feel like it's finally getting to the point where it's like so thin around the pan, whereas before it kind of like dipped in because of the way that my eyeshadow brush was hitting it, that I feel like we might see some faster progress on this. Still like up here, I feel like there's like a full pan of bronzer, like there's not a good dip up top, but hopefully we have a little bit more of an exciting pan to share on that bronzer by the end of the year. Okay, I was about to reach for my Bobbi Brown highlight, but I forgot the other day that I went into Ulta. There was a 15% off if you use the app, and I wasn't sure. They probably will. They probably will do a 20% off, like around VIB sale time, but there were two things that I wanted from Ulta that I could get at Ulta that like I couldn't get at Sephora, so I was like, I'm just gonna get these with my 15% off. I was doing that thing where I was like scrolling up and I was like, what else can I add? What else can I add? And then I was like, girl, we have so many things coming up that we will be spending our money on. You can just get the couple things that have been on your wish list for a couple months now and then be good, be good. Erin Taylor talks about the Too Faced Pillow Balms, and just the way that she's talked about them has made me really want to try the Too Faced Pillow Balms, which actually maybe I'll just put one on right now. This is a lip treatment, and there was a holiday set, so two came in it. It was $36 but a $49 value, and I've been wanting to try these for a long time, and one of them was like this really beautiful pink sparkly shade, which I have been into a pink sparkle lately. That's not the one I'm going to reach for today though. I'm going to reach into the shade Berry Jam Kiss, which I do like a darker kind of berry tone this time of year. Oh, this even looks nice. Ooh, it definitely has like a strong berry scent to it too. My lips are so dry, so disgusting. I need to exfoliate them. I should have exfoliated them before putting this on. Okay, this feels so nice. It kind of smells like cherry chapstick, but like in a berry jam sort of way. I definitely get that like berry scent, but it has a bit of like a chapsticky, like original chapstick sort of scent too. Okay, that's nice. It feels thicker than a lip oil. It almost feels like a liquefied chapstick. Ooh, and now I'm getting a bit of a tingle, but not like a hurting tingle. It's almost like a mentholy tingle, but also not minty. I don't know how to describe this. Is that supposed to happen? I'm like, I think probably. Ultra hydrating and nourishing lip treatment. Interesting. It feels nourishing and hydrating, but I'm getting this like menthol sensation, but not like minty, but like menthol. Almost like a cooling sensation. Interesting. Okay, so far, first impressions, I do really like this. The other thing that I picked up, got way distracted there, was the NARS highlighter in the shade Electra. You guys, let me just explain to you my mind's journey with this highlighter. When I first saw that they were releasing these, I was like, ooh, NARS new highlighter. I'm sold instantly. But I didn't order it online. I was trying to be like a responsible adult. My daughter and I were shopping for her birthday, I think, in Ulta, and I swatched these. I thought they were so beautiful, but I also swatched the Benefit Glow La-Las. And then it was my daughter's birthday, and I didn't want to buy anything for myself that day, because I was like, no, it's her day. So I left. Later ended up ordering the Benefit one because that was just like so beautiful and intense. But Angie, it just like has continued to rave about this highlighter this year, and I'm like, okay, I do love NARS products, so I really want to get it. I did not go with the pink because I feel like I typically go with a pink highlighter. And when I was in store, I swatched Electra, and I thought that this looked really beautiful. And I feel like there are times that I don't necessarily want a pink highlight, but I don't really have a lot of options. I do love my Vesca highlighter. Ooh, this one is a little bit like more golden than I remember. But like, it looks so wet and just so thin on the skin. I feel like this is one of those that is going to be like intense in that like really glassy, wet, glowy shine, but not like, I don't know, intense in like a very metallic strip on your face. I don't know, I'm very excited about this. So we're gonna give this a go. Maybe it's not gonna be the best shade for me right now, but we're just still gonna try it. It feels so nice to the touch too. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. And I do typically like to do my highlight before my blush and then my blush on top. I just feel like that works best for me. I don't know if it's the best shade for me right now. We're gonna see how everything looks when we add our blush. I always like to add a little bit of highlight to the nose. Oh, I'm excited for, especially for like next summer, because I do, again, love a pink highlight, especially in the winter time, but there are times that the sun is calling, and I feel like the sun calls for something closer to this. Okay, so far I think that's really pretty, but let's add a blush and see how it all comes together. I do still have these two mini Kosas blushes. I have the shade Dare and Spellbound from the newest like little blush mini set from Kosas. I really like the Kosas blush formula, and I don't need full-size blushes, so this set is perfect for me. I think I have used the shade Dare once. The third one that came in this, I already owned that shade, so I'm giving the third shade to my daughter. I have not yet used Spellbound, which looks really scary, but I do kind of want to use this one. Okay, I'm gonna take my Singe F06 blush brush, and then I'm gonna tap it out on my hand. And see, tapped out, like, I know I still have a bit of that What's Up Beauty blush on my hand, but it doesn't look crazy. So hopefully it doesn't go on the cheeks crazy. I mean, there's definitely pigment there, but it doesn't look anywhere like near as scary as in the pan. I'm gonna add just a little bit more because inevitably my blush will fade throughout the day. So we can start out with a heavy pigment. Very blushy, but that's okay. I'm gonna do my brows off camera quick, just using my Danessa Myricks Groundworks pomade, and we'll be back to kind of finish up the look, finish up the eyes. Okay, brows are on, feeling a little bit more like a person, but we still need to finish the eyes. I will say, like, the eye look is fine. It's just like nothing exciting to me. Like, it's nothing super, like, and it's honestly like a lot darker than probably needs to be to go visit my mom and sister, but that's fine. I'm gonna take this shade Veil, the sparkly shade, or the metallic, excuse me, and I'm gonna take that on the inner corner. And the top of the melt stack is a mirror, so I just thought I would give that a go. It's a very small mirror, but the metallics in this are fine. The mattes, I don't know, but again, just like nothing crazy special in my opinion. So I'm gonna take my everlasting Ilia eyeliner in the shade Dusk in my waterline. This is just a dark brown. And then I'm just gonna take this 666. It's hard to say. I'm just gonna take that on the lower lash. Okay, before I spray eyeliner on, I'm gonna go, spray eyeliner on. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of the Say powder, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on my What's Up Beauty R204. And I'm just gonna do that. Then I think I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Glow Primer. Just hopefully this makes my makeup last a little bit longer, being that it's an all nighter, but also I love a bit of a glow. And I feel like I'm getting to the very end of my e.l.f. Incredicurl. Like, this might be, maybe I can make it last one more month, maybe. But I'm just gonna use this for my mascara today. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the Pillow Balm only because I really want to show you guys my favorite lip combo lately. I did actually really like that Pillow Balm. That was nice. I feel like that would make a good like evening time balm. That would also make a good car gloss. it is my first impression, but that's my first impression. Okay, favorite combo lately for lips has been the Bella Beauté Bar Dream Lip Pencil. I think, I don't know if this is Wormhole or Dreamscape. I think this might be Dreamscape, but I have been loving this lip liner formula, and I feel like the price is pretty reasonable for a lip liner. I want to say maybe $12, and like, I think I've already sharpened this twice. I ended up buying 2 shades, and I really like both. I feel like the formula is pretty long lasting. It is like a true sharpenable pencil, and it's stiff enough where it like goes on without getting everywhere, but it also is creamy enough that I feel like I can kind of put it all over my lips. Now to do my uneven top lip line. Okay, I feel like because of that balm, I'm struggling a little bit with the top lip line. Okay, if we look a little uneven and crazy on the top lip line, it is what it is. Okay, then I go in with the Bella Beauté Bar, the new like sparkly lip balms, and this is the shade Dreamscape. And this is a really beautiful like balm with almost like multi-chrome, not multi-chrome pigment, but it almost feels like a multi-chrome balm. It has really beautiful like glitter shimmer running throughout, but it doesn't feel like gritty on the lips at all. I ended up buying 2 shades of this as well, and I will say there is some like really beautiful red shades, and I think when I buy, which I think it releases tomorrow, ooh, when I buy the new like, the like creepy like holiday palette, I'm gonna buy 1 if not 2 more of these because I'm really interested in one of the reds. I just wasn't sure if it would end up looking like all of the shades looking the same, but I also bought the shade Decay, which is like a darker like berry shade almost, and they're definitely like different shades, so been a big fan of these as well. Anyway, those 2, and I like these honestly just on their own like this, and I feel like it just makes my lips look so much fuller personally. My lips still are uneven. My lip lines are uneven, but you know what? I'm accepting this about myself. I am learning to accept myself for who I am and all of my asymmetries. But I am trying to work my way through my Fenty Beauty Champ Stamp Fantasy lip gloss, and this just adds next level shine. And I feel like it's just like a little bit more cool toned and fun for this time of year, so I've been absolutely obsessed with this lip combo. This is gonna be my final look for today. I will say for like a day-to-day, little bit like smokier eyeshadow look, I do not mind this. I don't think it's the most earth-shattering, life-changing eyeshadow look of all time. I think that the shimmers are definitely the star of the show in this, but they're not like indie level quality. I mean, I think Melt is possibly an indie brand, but they're not going to be like the most impactful on the lids. But for just like, I don't know, like I like it, but I'm not like, woo. I'll keep playing with this. I'm really curious to see how I continue to like the mattes. I will say, like, now that the mattes have been on, I feel like they look fine, but I definitely was struggling to blend in the beginning. So we're obviously going to keep testing this out, and I will let you guys know in my year-end ranking how this ranks amongst all the other palettes that I've been buying and trying this year. You guys will have to let me know what your thoughts are on this look in the comments down below. If you picked up the Melt Stack, let me know. And this is a pricey thing. I don't know if I regret it yet. As of this moment, I'm like, maybe not my best purchase, but that is where I'm wrapping up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch, for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.